Welcome back, everybody. I'm Rocky for Rocky Reviews, and today we're going to have a look at Entanglement. Welcome back to Rocky Reviews, and this week we're going to take a look at Entanglement. Now, Entanglement's a cool little game. It's from Gopherwood Studios. It was designed by Derek Deitweiler and Todd Lewis. Deitweiler, hope I said that right. You can let me know if I didn't. And it plays 1 to 6 players, less than 30 minutes. It's $39.99 on the Game Crafter, and it's doing pretty well. It's got Tiberium Seller status. It's got a 70 plus score on the sanity test, so it's a nice little game. I'll explain the game real quick and then we'll get into it. But basically, the game itself is it's similar to Tsuro or games where it's a tile laying game where you move your meeples along a path, and what you're trying to do is establish the longest path, and the longest path will win. Now, unlike Tsuro where you're trying to run people off the edge of the board. This game is based on their digital version. They actually have a computer web-based version of this game, and then they built it for the board game industry as well. So let's have a look. All right, here's the box. I'm going to move that aside for a moment. These are the basic components, your basic playing pieces, and the idea is that you start with the center tile, and you'll choose a meeple. Now, these happen to use the avatars, the transparent avatars, which are admittedly a favorite of mine, and you will choose a starting point. Each person, depending on how many players there are, will get so many of these. And the Japanese cherry trees. And what you're going to be doing is placing tiles and trying to extend the path. So if you look on the board here, if I was to place this tile down, I would move my meeple to the end of the path. If we're playing more than one player, let's say we've got the orange one and the red one, the red person, they may play a tile and may end up, let's say if we start here, we may end up going in a similar direction, like that. Move him to the end of his path. And then if I was to play my next one and play the cherry blossom, I'm going to move to the end straight through there, but this person will also move when I place that path. Now when you cross over one of those, you get to draw an extra tile from the draw stack and place it in your personal draw stack. Now, the idea is to get the longest path through here. And the game's going to end when you can't play any more tiles. So at some point, you're going to be able to count through here. If I started here, I can backtrack. I go across 1 tile, 2 tiles to get back to my starting position. I'd have a score of 2. So the idea is to get the longest path possible. So the game's fairly simple. It's easy to set up, easy to use, really easy, portable, and of course it uses the hex tiles. Now these happen to be the medium hex tiles. They're nice and solid. The Game Crafter, if you get the hex tiles or any of the punch outs, will all be the same with cardboard, but they're nice and solid. Most of the game is this pile of 72 of these tiles. There is a document for the rules. So they used a single document, double-sided, for the rules. It's pretty nice, well-written, very clean, easy to do. They also linked to their playthrough on the game here on Gopherwood Studios site. And I'll have a link to that in the description as well, so you can see the playthrough of the game. Other than that, it's the meeples. Now, I said before, these are the transparent avatar meeples, which I quite like. I've always liked these kind of, they're just a little different. They're not the typical wooden meeples, which I find attractive when people do things a little bit different in a game. And they're super durable. They don't, the wood won't wear, the paint won't wear off. There's no silk screen to wear off. But I quite like these kind of meeples. But that's really the whole component to the game. You could toss this whole thing in a bag, make it a little more portable. When it comes in the nice Pro box. And these are, of course, the telescoping Pro box from the Game Crafter. And this large retail box is good. Now you'll notice that the parts in this one will condense down quite a bit because when the punch outs arrive, they're in the sheets. And the Pro box is the one that will fit that. But they even went so far as to make a nice linen finish on the box. All the tiles are linen finished. And that just adds a little bit of luxury to it. So I would always consider, the linen finish is always a very nice touch on these things. The art on the box is pretty interesting. It's just one of the tiles with the logo, but other than that, the box is just black. It's sold on the Game Crafter. I haven't seen this in the game store yet, so I'm not sure how it would do for shelf presence if it had to be, seen from across the room. But I do like the elegant black box. I do think that's nice and a clean way to do it. Because if you're going to make a nice clean box like that, commit to it, right? All right. So that is Entanglement. Look for this and other indie games on the Game Crafter that you might not have known you're going to enjoy. In this weird time we're living in, and I'll just mention this briefly, remember to be kind to each other. I know this thing is crazy. This COVID thing is crazy. It's driving us all nuts. But there's no reason to think we're already in Mad Max territory here. If you're going to buy something, buy what you need, but consider those that can't come out and panic shop. Try to be considerate. Play more board games. It's great if you're stuck at home with your family. Dig out some board games, connect, have a good time. You might get to learn a bunch of new stuff about your family. Try that. But anyway, thanks for being patient. Thanks for hanging in there with this COVID thing. We hope to see you soon. As always, thank you for watching the Game Crafter. Click the subscribe button. And once you're subscribed, click that bell icon. That way you'll know when any of us on the Game Crafter channel upload any new videos for you to watch. Check out my channel that I'll have a link to up there. I'll be putting more stuff on there fairly soon. It's kind of in preparation right now. I'm changing the formats around. But I'm Rocky. This was Rocky Reviews. And as always, make awesome things.